Now Ron talks engines and he talks tires. Scott might be the master bronze of fire. With his country charm and a wink in his eye, he's taking over and we all know why. Ron Miller, he's the one in charge. He's here and hammered down like a big old bard. Scott, don't worry, it's all in fun. Ron's a real host when the race is run. When Ron hits the mic, the crowd's on their feet. Scott's in the pit, they're just trying to compete. It's all good nature, just a country jest. But when it comes up poetry, then the Ron's the best. Scott, don't worry, it's all in fun. Ron's a real host
when the race is run.
Raise your glass, let's give Ron the cheer. Scott's still our buddy, but it's Ron we revere. A little mutiny, just for a smile.
Oh, I'll bring by he that you can to preaching.
Just playing with you, Scott. Don't go nowhere.
Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans,
Hi.
to the Hammer Down Racing Report.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Hammer Down Racing Report, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. This is show number 360 for Thursday, the day after New Year's. January 2nd. Ron Miller, Scott Hammer coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Tonight on the show, we're going to be catching up on the last 2 weeks. There's been some stuff going on. Not too much, though. Not too bad. Also, a big event in our area yesterday, the Sandusky Speedway Annual Hangover Race, the Wild Bill Hart Hangover Race. One of the winners in the studio even brought his trophy.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Let's see yours, Scott.
There's a few around.
He tried. He was really close.
Dan Dittman also will be joining us. He was the winner of the Moonshine Stock feature.
Right.
Ron won the Champagne Stock. And Jaden McCall will be joining us a little bit later as well. He is
Pretty cool.
the Whiskey Stock
four-cylinder class, or front-wheel drive.
So we'll be speaking with everybody. We'll be talking to Ron. He had quite an interesting experience there, just getting on the track.
We'll go into that a little more in depth shortly.
So the pizza giveaway is back. We're going back to Clyde for pizza.
Yeah.
East of Chicago Pizza is going to be doing large one-topping pizza each week for the How Many. And again, thanks to Dean Henry putting that together for us.
Yeah.
So stick around for that. Also, back is hashtag DCR to win a Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. There we go. They're under my phone. They're stuck. Just like this.
Yeah.
If you'd like to win one of those, just put hashtag DCR in the comments of the Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or Twitch, whatever. And at the end of the show, we will spin the wheel to determine who wins the sticker this week. So
Yay.
Lots coming up, as well as all the latest news and results from the past couple weeks. How was your holidays?
It was a fun day. It was fun. Yeah.
Which holiday would we be speaking about? Christmas?
Christmas was really cool.
Did you get a new race car?
What?
Did Santa bring you a new race car?
No.
Truck?
No, same old truck.
Oh.
No race
Did you get any
car.
calls for gift certificates on?
I didn't. I was surprised. Everybody must have gotten their shopping in.
All right.
But, no, the Christmas at the Miller family farm was pretty amazing. Close to 30 kids and grandkids and great-grandkids, and it was definitely interesting.
Well, I know something happened on your property, but let's talk about that later because we had a Hammer Down hotline text about that.
Well, okay.
So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Got to talk about Magic Moment Entertainment. Mention the Hammer Down Racing Report when you contact Magic Moment Entertainment, and you'll get $100 off your reception DJ service. Magic Moment's Ron Burt works with contracts. He carries liability insurance, never charges for mileage or dance floor lighting. He covers the entire states of Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Kentucky. He's been in business for over 30 years. Magic Moment takes pride in working closely with couples to make your special day perfect. Wedding receptions may be Magic Moment specialty, but they also do corporate events and mitzvahs. Call Ron today at 419-594-2261, or you can find him on Facebook under Magic Moment Entertainment or Ohio Sports Blitz. And again, he is booking for June of 2025 and beyond, and I guess he's getting lots of calls coming in. And he also, when you call him, congratulate him on his new kidney.
Yeah.
I guess things are going well with that.
Yeah, he'd been a little under the weather, and I guess he says he's feeling much better.
So congratulations, Ron Burt there. And another Ron Miller Race Cars. You can give Ron a call. Just don't do it now. Wait till after the show. 7, well, you could do 419.
Yeah, either one.
What is it, 419?
279-0100.
Or you can do the old-fashioned one, which also rings to his cell phone, too.
Yeah, they all go right here.
734-856-7223. Remember when numbers actually matter? You were worried it was going to be a long-distance call or not?
Oh, yeah.
That's not even a thing anymore, really.
Well, and even when I talk to my friends in Australia, we just do Facebook. And
Okay.
Do you ever do Facebook phone?
Well, we use our video system service, whatever you want to call it, here to speak to some of the guys over in Australia.
Right.
But yeah, you could use like Skype or Facebook, whatever. I've done the only Facebook video chat I've done, I think, was with Craig to ask him what was wrong with my car.
Okay.
Here, look.
Yeah. Well, we talk to our friends in Australia that way, and it avoids the international charges. Those still exist.
So, again, give Ron a call, 734-856-7223. He's got race cars, parts, safety equipment service, American Racer, and Towel City Retread tires. Are you going to stock those again this year?
Maybe.
Oh, there's a possible change there?
I don't know.
Well, you're going to have to keep me updated so I can update your copy here.
That's it.
Okay. I was going to mention Oakshade Raceway, Freeze Frame Photos, and Victory Fuel, sponsors of the Hammer Down Racing Report. Had some racing over the last 2 weeks here. So how about we do a little roundup?
Racing Roundup.
Big event going on in Fort Wayne, the Rumble in Fort Wayne.
Right.
At the Allen County War Memorial Convention Center. Friday night action, Cap Henry picking up the win in the midgets. A couple of former guests doing good here. John Ivey winning the 600 wing micros. Easton Zent, your 600 non-wing micro winner. Former guest Alex Smulders won both the 330 clone and 360 clone kart feature. And then Saturday night, Joe Ligori won in the midgets. Tyler Gunn, another familiar name there, winning in the 600 wing micros. Dylan Nussbaum, another familiar name, 600 non-wing micro winner. And Alex Smulders, again, won the 330 clone and 360 clone kart feature. So doing good on the asphalt.
Pretty successful weekend there.
The sticky asphalt, yes.
Also,
Sandusky Speedway yesterday. As we had just mentioned, our guests tonight, Ron Miller winning in the Champagne Stock feature event, Dan Dittman dominating the Moonshine Stock feature event. That was the first time I've ever been lapped, and I was running second.
That's pretty crazy, Scott.
I was not happy about that, but and Jaden McCall, of course, winning in the Whiskey Stock feature yesterday at Sandusky Speedway. Weather wasn't too bad. Track was wet and underwater in some areas. I saw a video.
It's not very often that you run into a pavement track with character. That one definitely had character.
It had water character.
Did you see?
I saw I didn't see it happen live. I saw a video of the whiskey stocks that got together and splashed into the water there at the infield.
Oh, boy.
And that car sitting, in like 2.5, 3 feet of water.
Yeah.
I bet you he was cold.
I think one of the pilgrims, somebody posted some pictures of the four-cylinder cars or of the front-wheel drive cars going through the water. Yeah. Created quite a wake.
Nice. Also, this past couple weeks, some racing action down under in Australia. Actually, this past weekend, Thursday night, Jacob Jolly winning at High-Tech Toowoomba Speedway in the 360 LS Sprint Cars. Cooper Dawson, the junior Formula 500 winner. Brody Davis winning in the Sprint Cars on Saturday night. Kai Jensen winning in the 360 LS Sprint Cars. Harriet Stewart in Speed Cars. Dylan Menz in the Sprint Cars. Liam Atkinson in Wingless Sprints. And then Monday, we're supposed to be racing there at High-Tech Toowoomba. Rain postponed the act. It actually rains in Australia, too.
Oh, it does.
That was postponed to Tuesday. Tuesday's action won by J.J. Hamilton in the super sedans, Aiden Raymond winning in the modified sedans, and Matt O'Neill in the compact speed cars. Murray Bridge Speedway on Thursday night, it was Lockie McHugh winning in the sprint cars, Dylan Richter in the mod lights. Perth Motorplex having quite a weekend of racing.
That was exciting. Did you?
I didn't get to see any.
It was.
Did you get up early and watch it live?
I did.
For real?
Oh yeah.
What time did you have to get up?
You know, the racing really didn't start until almost 6 o'clock our time, so it wasn't too bad. But some crazy feature races.
Dane Kingshot on Thursday night was the winner in the 410 sprints. Jake Andriotti winning in the speed cars. Warren Oldfield winning in the late models. Stephen Element in the Formula 500s. And then Saturday night, back in action, James McFadden picking up the high-limit sprint car feature win. A few high-limit shows this past weekend. Jake Andriotti again in the speed cars. And then on Sunday night, James McFadden going back-to-back in high-limit sprint car feature wins. James Oldfield winning in the late models. Monday night, Kyle Larson in a borrowed ride. What did he win, $100,000, I think that was?
Aussie.
What's that equate to in American money?
About 56.
That's still pretty good.
56,000, yeah.
Kyle Larson winning that high-limit sprint car feature. Brendan Marshman winning in the Formula 500s. Earlier today, Thursday, Merger Contracting Sprint Car Muster, that was the name of the program. Right. Brad Sweet picking up the sprint car win. I don't believe that was a high-limit sanctioned event, just a sprint car race. Ryan Farrell winning in the pro sprint cars, Chad Petard in the limited sprint cars, and David Sinagra in the Formula 500. So a lot of action over the past week at Perth Motorplex.
Oh, yeah. And Scott, absolutely ginormous crowds.
There was probably nicer, too, than it is around here.
Well, yeah, it's 90 degrees anyway.
Esperance Speedway on Saturday, Sean Leary winning in the Supermods, Linton Dickerson in the Street Stocks, George Park in the production sedans, Jess Stewart winning in the Formula 500s, Matt Robbins in the late models, full show there on Saturday. And then Wednesday, New Year's sprint car show at Bunbury Speedway, Chad Pittard winning in the limited sprint cars, James McFadden, another sprint car win. Premier Speedway on Wednesday, yesterday, as a matter of fact, Sprint Car Speed Week going on there. Jamie Vale winning in the sprint cars, Peter Kinnear in the street stocks. And that is your racing roundup for the past 2 weeks.
Scott, somebody posted that they watched all three races in...
That was Dean.
Oh, okay.
Had to move my house.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely cool. And I don't know if they... are doing any replays on them, but if they are, they're worth watching especially the McFadden stuff.
Katie Hyde said she was behind the guy when he went in the puddle.
That wasn't a puddle. That was a pond.
That was. I thought about seeing if I could hook my left rear or left front in there.
Yeah, but then it'd.
I wasn't sure what would happen if I did. So
you might find if there were any holes in the firewall.
yeah, well, it's a good thing I didn't try that then.
And it could have shorted out some spark plugs. And, yeah. Yeah, don't try that.
Victory Fuel, the flavored electrolyte water that is free from artificial coloring, no caffeine, no carbonation, with a full load of electrolytes and 120% of your daily vitamins. It is the choice of many teams on race day to stay properly hydrated. Contact local sales representative Tanya Conley for track concessions and for business wholesale inquiries. Or you can order online at drinkvictory.com. Use discount code Conley Racing. And Conley Racing will receive, I believe, a little bit of a stipend there, and you get a discount on your order. So cool there. And if you want to contact Tanya, I believe it's Tanya at drinkvictory.com. That email address will be scrolling at the bottom of the screen there if you're interested in becoming a reseller of it.
Yeah. Lux Bailey says it was Jason Stanfield Jr. that went into the
got
pond.
in the water there?
Now, was he the one that was sitting on top of the car until they bailed him out?
Oh, I didn't see that. I just saw him in the car.
Deluxe Photos. You can go there. There were about 50 photos from
There were several different photos there.
I scanned those, and they had some great pictures from the infield.
I also got to mention Oakshade Raceway, where the fastest meet to race. They're working on their 2025 schedule. UMP Dirt Car Summer Nationals and the American Late Model Ironman Series double bill. Well, single race, but double sanction, I guess you could say. That's coming Saturday, July 12th. Visit oakshaderaceway.com. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok for the latest updates on that schedule.
Yeah.
Probably check maybe once a week. So you can replay the high limit races. Okay. It looks like we have Mr. Dipman waiting in the wings here. How would we bring our first guest in?
Sure.
All right. Mr. Dan Dipman.
Hey, that is Dan Dipman.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let me get rid of. There we go.
Where's your daughter? She should be in there, just runner up.
Yeah, she was runner up to you. Yep.
Well, let's talk about the moonshine stock. You were running the moonshine stock in the 07, and your daughter was running in the champagnes, right?
Yep.
And she finished second to run in the champagne stock. You kicked the ass of just about, everybody in the moonshine stock feature event. You lapped everybody at least once, and if there were a few more laps, you might have lapped everybody twice. I mean, what was the secret to make that car so fast?
The car was hooked up pretty good.
So what's the secret?
There really was no secret to it.
Is it setup? Is it driver ability? Is it?
No, you got to see the car pretty quick the second time too with Haley behind the wheel, so it wasn't just driver. She had some tips from Dad, but
what tips did Dad give?
In her heat race, she was letting off too early. Like she was waiting to get into the corner, like she was going too fast down the straightaway, and it was upsetting the car down the straightaway. And I just told her, don't lift until you're ready to turn. And it definitely made her a lot quicker in the feature for her.
Now, it looked like you were running a higher line than just about everybody else. Because once you got by me, when I went a lap down, I'm going to try what he's doing. And it didn't work for me. How was that working for you?
I don't know. No, I found it by going around the lap cars was how I scooted up to the high side. And it was pretty quick up there too. Yeah, it could go about anywhere. I probably could have put it in the grass and it would have went around the corner. So I did not.
How about the bottom of 3 and 4?
Yeah, there was no grass in 3 and 4.
I remember years ago we used to be able to put our left side tires down in the grass and in the mud.
You betcha.
If the car was tight, but yeah, he wasn't doing that this year.
So how many, I know a couple of years ago you dominated and actually won. Didn't you win both the moonshine and the champagne?
Yeah, that was 2021.
2021, okay.
That was when it was pouring down rain.
Oh, that was the really cold one.
Yeah, that was the monsoon.
Oh, my goodness. So how many?
It was actually my favorite memory about Chris Mize was he always came back and talked about me winning in the pouring down rain.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what? How many of these have you won? I mean, combined.
I think
Moonshine,
this is
champagnes.
this might be my third or fourth in the street stock.
Okay.
And then we had just the one in the champagne.
Okay. So do you feel bad for stinking up the show?
No. No, I come over and offered. I asked if I could do anything to help you.
This is true. He did. I was like,
I
don't
come
know.
over and ask if there was
We could
anything I could do.
Switch cars, maybe? I don't know. I didn't think
Maybe
you'd go
next
for
year we'll
that.
try that.
Actually, okay. So when did you? I mean, once you lapped the field, did you slow down at all, or you just
I actually
stayed on?
did, and it seemed like it made it faster when I slowed down. Somebody else asked me that question. When I got to you, I did slow down.
Did you know
And it
that
seemed like
Scott
it got
was running second?
When I caught when I seen Hammer again, I thought maybe there was something wrong with his car, why he fell back, and then I seen, well, I thought I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I thought something was wrong with you, and then I seen John Young was right with you. I thought, well, I think I just lapped the field.
Yep.
And then after I got around you, I did slow down, and then it seemed like the car driving straighter was still a little bit quicker yet. So
did you have any tires left, or did you burn those off?
she ran the same tires. We didn't change anything. So Haley ran everything I ran. All we did was topped it off with fuel. And,
Now
I did it with the 4-barrel.
in the for personal reference, because I was in Haley's heat race, and I was able to get by her in the heat race. Was she running different tires in the heat race then?
She had the Oakshade tires on for the.
You should have kept those on. Just saying. Just saying. So the tires do make a big difference.
Huge.
Okay.
So if you get a chance to talk to Oakshade about the tires, that was the big difference right there. That's what it would look like if you let Oakshade run the M30s.
So you were running M30s? Is that what you're saying?
M30s was what it was. Yeah.
So M30s is good on asphalt.
Some were all junk, and
Okay.
we ran all last year at Eldora. And there was no new tires on the car. No, that was just takeoffs from whatever we ran this year, and huge difference.
So did you have any scary situations or dicey situations at all during that race?
Going into 3, when Young went off the top side, I hit that mud too.
Did you?
Yeah, you could see there was grass and mud, and yeah.
I think that was from the big splash we were talking
Just
about.
for what it's worth, that mud stayed there the rest of the night, the rest of the day.
It did. It was like there was cattails and some other crawdads and a couple of fish floating on the
Yeah,
track.
it could have been some fish.
When Ron said there was character to the racetrack, there was absolutely character. Yes.
I hit that once or twice too. You hit that,
Yeah.
sliding right to the top there. So, I mean, any issues with the car? Was the car fine? Were you hearing any noises or anything?
No, car ran great. No, just they didn't want to start when I shut it off for my interview afterwards. We had to push start it and then left it running for Haley.
Not that I was wishing anything bad on you, but I was like, man, I guess my only chances is he's got to have some kind of mechanical problem or something. Maybe a flat tire. I don't know.
I actually said the same thing to Haley. I says, all I got to do is stay out there and hope that Ron breaks down for. Because I believe she was quicker than Eddie, the other late model.
Yeah.
The other late model that showed up. He was struggling in his heat to win it.
And then he never. Yeah,
that track, and I've said it a couple of times on previous races, there are certain nights where an 8-inch tire is going to be a huge advantage over the wide late model tires.
Absolutely in the wet.
And I think you proved that.
Yeah, absolutely in the wet. Yeah.
Now, did you bring any late model tires to put on the car for the
no
Champagne?
late model tires, but I did bring asphalt tires in case it dried out.
And boy, it sure didn't do that.
No,
It did not.
Now that track condition, is that was that to your liking? Do you enjoy that, or would you have preferred it to dry out?
No, that was beautiful. That was about the best I could ask for that car to handle on. I think I might have gave Ron a run for his money. It was I really enjoy. You could really feel the racetrack with that, or you could feel the car on that racetrack. I could feel when it would start to slide and how much throttle you could give it through the corner. And that was about as best that's handled, even in the rain. I don't think I was that when I won the Champagne class. I don't think the car handled as good as it did yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, yesterday was about as good as it was handling.
Now,
Yeah.
do you think if the track was dry, do you think it might have been a different story?
I think the 52 car, the asphalt car, would have smoked me. And even the truck. I think that truck had a lot, the 11 truck, but he was just no tires. He came with asphalt tires, and yeah, he could never get any heat in the tires. I don't know if they would have grooved them or something different, but yeah, the asphalt tires just never fired.
Speaking of the tires again, did you do anything special to the tires as far
Nope.
as grooving them or anything? It's just
100% same setup.
Just his Eldora tires.
I'm taking notes if you haven't
Yeah.
noticed.
Well,
Okay. Now,
nothing different. That
were
was
you?
the dirt track setup and the dirt track, just everything. Yeah.
So I mean, you took the back off of the rear end bumper cover off, and you had the
Yeah. And
your,
then put the
The 2x4 sport.
wing
2x4 on the
sideboard.
top.
Yeah.
Right.
And
But
I
other
think
than that-
I don't know if that was all of it. I mean, it had to have helped, but it seemed like when I put the 2x4 on the left rear, it made the car tighter. So
Yeah,
I was
and
just
it
trying to
would.
and I've tried to free it up by scooting it forward and up top more. And I'm not sure if that was the advantage, but I wouldn't doubt if everybody puts them on the roof next year.
Now, what made you decide to run the moonshine and have your daughter Haley run the champagne, and why not vice versa? Or
She rented the car, Scott.
She did. She ran it. She did. We did it vice versa last year. Yeah, last
Okay.
year I ran the champagne and ended up fourth, and she got fourth last year in the street stock. And it was just there really was no decision behind it. It was just it was my turn to run the 2-barrel class, and she can run the open class.
okay, now did the extra 2 barrels help in the?
I don't think so,
Yeah.
but she wanted it, and I had it in my hand when the tech inspector come over to ask me about it. I had it in my pocket. I says, "Is this what you're looking for?" And I pulled it out. And I said, "I better put it on the car now." Funny story. When I took that 2-barrel clip off last year to run, and we never put it back on because I think last year was still pretty wet.
Yeah.
I don't think I put the 4 barrels on last year. I ran the first race of last year on a 2-barrel because I accidentally forgot to put that clip on.
I mean,
So I was sure I was going to put the carburetor back together.
where at Eldora or?
I think I ran Eldora on a 2-barrel
Oh, boy.
and forgot to put that little clip on there to put the 4 barrels back on.
When did you figure that out? As soon as you started
When I
going,
found the
or?
clip. I think the clip was sitting on the toolbox.
Reached in
Yeah.
his driver's suit pocket and said, "Oh, look at this."
Yeah, we're going to need that.
So what are your plans as far as racing for this summer?
Probably Eldora. They got 5 on the schedule, and then maybe just hit and miss at Oakshade if we get a chance.
And I understand that they're paying more every week and taking that away from the $5,000 to win points fund. So it's looking like $1,000 to win on a regular night.
Wow.
It's
maybe
hard to
couple.
do. I don't have near enough motor to run down there to be competitive up front at
Well,
Eldora.
take your Sandusky winnings.
You don't need a whole lot of horsepower to run in the slick on an asphalt track.
So what about Haley? She gonna be behind the wheel of that car as well?
Just if you
Just
go to Oakshade and play around a little bit. So, and nope, she's got her house now and she's happy and working on her ranch and now we'll see. We still got another car to put together for her if she decides. But yeah, not too much racing on the schedule this year. Just hopefully we can hit the 5 at Eldora and just hit and miss here and there.
Well, it's a good way to start off your year with a
Yeah.
feature win.
Yeah.
Maybe Millstream. I'm not sure how many Millstreams got on the schedule yet.
I don't think there's any as of yet, but there will be, I'm sure.
All right.
Sponsors or anybody that helped you out other than Haley you
No,
want to talk
just
to?
Haley. Yep, just Haley and my wife and mom and dad. And yep, my little brother came and helped pit for me this time. And my daughter's boyfriend was there helping.
Okay. It just got dark. What happened?
Yeah. my wife's done cooking, obviously.
Oh,
Let's go. Dinner's ready.
all right. Well, we're done anyways. Congratulations again on the win, and congratulations to Haley
you.
for her second place finish to Ron in the Champagne Stocks.
You as well. You had your car hooked up good enough to stay and finish the field, and it was a respectful
There was
round.
something wrong with it as I'm driving by lapping him, but it was respectful. I appreciate it.
And congratulations, Ron, on your win.
Yeah, it felt good. We had a tough night, but
It was a horrible night. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, to have to show up at the racetrack and work on the car all night just to make it in the feature. Yeah, that was. Yeah, if there'd have been anything I could have done more to give you more parts to
yeah.
get you back on the track.
Hang in there in a little while. I'll discuss. It wasn't just getting the car running.
Yeah,
lots
I
of
knew-
fun.
I knew what else you had, and that's
Yeah.
that's why I said Haley actually was when she led the first 10 laps of the feature. And then I found out afterwards how much of a struggle the old man had. But
Yeah.
that's quite the feat.
Oh, man.
That's quite the feat of what you did.
I paid for it on the drive home. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, I believe it.
All right, Dan, we'll see you at Eldora, I guess, this year.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Scott.
Yep.
Thanks, Ron.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
Thanks.
There you go. That's Dan Dittman, your Moonshine stock feature winner. And a lot of cars doing double duty
Right.
between the Moonshine Champagne stock, the 07 one of them. So Dan driving in the Moonshine, picking up the win, and Haley runner-up in the Champagne stock. Not too bad there to the Outlaw Super Late Model driven by Ron Miller. And again, we'll talk about your stuff here a little bit later. Jaden McCall will be joining us here shortly. Let me see if it looks like he's in the green room here. We'll get to him after we talk about freeze frame photos. Make sure to give Charlie a call for all your racing photo needs, from action shots to victory lane. They do custom print magnets, can koozies. Copy's a little dated here, but we'll mention it. Christmas tree ornaments, tumblers, wood plaques, slate with photos on them. Basically any photo that he's got. Victory photos, racing action photos, wreck photos. He likes to take pictures of aftermath of bad things. If you want to remember all that, you can get any of those items with any of those pictures. Wind spinners, buttons, 2025 calendars. Also, it's still not too late to get those. I actually ordered a few, waiting to get those
Ooh, cool.
to give to a few of my sponsors as well. Freeze frame photos. Well, that's old too. I really need to update his copy here. Give Charlie a call, 419-407-6994. Freeze frame photos, special moments frozen in time. And now let's bring on Jaden. Jaden McCall, congratulations on picking up the win in the whiskey stocks.
Thank you.
Now,
You avoided the water.
you avoided. Okay. Did you get close to it at all?
Not really. There was a few times where I went in a little low, got a little close to it, but I try to stay as far away.
Far away.
Yeah.
Well, I apologize. I don't know if you got to watch any of the whiskey stock action, but
I didn't.
running both classes, I didn't really have time to watch. So, tell us about the race. I mean, when you won your heat race, so you started up front. Did you lead the whole way?
I did not. I actually started third row outside, and then I took the lead within the first lap, going into 3 and 4, and came out with the lead, and hung on for the rest of the heat race.
Did you miss the slick stuff in 3 and 4, or going into 3?
I did not. I actually hit it the whole time. Just about every time going into 3, I slid up the track just a little bit, but we made it through it.
It took me about half of our feature, Scott, to realize that if I lifted a little bit early and drove straight through that and then arced into the corner,
I just went above it.
yeah, by the time our feature came around, there was no above it. If you got above it, you were in the grass.
Well, and some people were.
Yeah.
How did you keep control of your car?
Yeah.
Any problems?
No problems at all. We had the same setup since Cavalcade, didn't touch it at all. The only thing we put in was a new motor. So we went out there and just had some fun.
So you broke in the new motor.
Yeah, just about.
So you're ready for spring.
I am.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So how long have you been racing?
I've been racing since I was 15, so about 4 years now. 4 or 5 years.
So he's about 19 years old then.
Yeah.
Okay, I did that math. You've been running the front wheel drives then
Yes.
for all 4 of those years. Okay, so not a rookie or anything. Even though he's a young man, he knows how to get things done.
How was your regular season at Sandusky?
It wasn't bad. I raced both there and at Lorain County.
Okay.
But at Sandusky, I tend to have some motor problems, especially in past years. So
Thus the new motor.
that is not the new motor. So
Oh.
Cavalcade, I blew up my baby motor, and we had a new motor built originally. That ran on 5 cylinders, and we found that out earlier in the year at Sandusky. And then we put in a brand new motor that's neither of those for the Hangover. So
Now,
So that one's going to stay in.
yes, that will stay in for hopefully
Very good.
the whole.
That makes the rest of the winter pretty boring.
We have some work to do to the body. It's a little rough right now.
Was that anything added to the body damage yesterday?
No,
No?
not
Okay.
a scratch.
Kept it clean. All right. Do you enjoy running in the adverse weather?
It's definitely different. I like it. It's like I said, it's different, not what you're used to. I couldn't run the normal race line, especially in 3 and 4, as
I'll bet.
as, the pond. So it was different, but I really had fun out there.
So how different is it than it is running on a dry track? I mean, what do you do different to adjust for that?
Just from practice, just kind of felt it out where I could let off and not. Straightaways were just about the same, full throttle. I couldn't get on it as fast as I usually would on a dry track. You kind of have to ease onto it, and then you're full throttle all the way down. And then obviously you have to let off early going into the corner, or else you'll loop it like I did in hot laps. So.
Oh, you got your looping out during the hot laps then.
Yep.
So get it out of your system then.
You never know when you're going fast enough until you spin
There
out,
you go.
Scott.
Yeah, and that's the time to figure it out. So I'm assuming then if you get on the throttle too early with the front wheel drives, does it tend to just kind of want to go straight toward the wall coming off the corners?
Yeah, a little bit, then just spins the tires. But it likes to push up towards the wall.
Yeah, I don't like the walls.
I've made a lot of contact with that wall. So
On a dry track, I'm assuming?
on a dry track, yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I've bent some control arms on that wall.
That'll bend a lot of things. So did you make any other than you had a different motor in for this race? I mean, you said you didn't really change anything on the car, no adjustments. Were you running different tires?
No, same tires, the Falcons. The only thing we did was bump up both left side pressures. That was to load it on the trailer. We slimmed it down very slightly while at the track. Everything stayed the same though.
Okay.
Well, congratulations. It sounds like his was a pretty boring night, Scott.
You didn't lap the whole field, did you?
No.
Okay.
I don't know where I was in terms of lapping the field, but I did not lap the whole field.
Did you have any close calls or anything getting through some of that traffic?
Not really. There was a few times where I got held up, but no real close calls in terms of pushing or anyone spinning out or wrecking or anything.
So you started 5th or 6th and you led the first lap. So must have been pretty,
Must have been on it.
yeah.
Car stuck wherever I really put it besides the first groove and going into 1 and 2. That's where I looped it. And then obviously 3 and 4, you have to go high. But it stuck 2nd, 3rd groove. I was up in the 4th groove, almost touching the grass on the first lap of that heat race. So it handled really well.
So any other tracks you plan to hit this summer?
Yeah, so just Sandusky and Lorain County Speedway.
Just
or
those
Lorain
two?
Wasteway Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're working closely together this year. So that's a pretty cool deal.
Yep.
It's they have a combined point fund now for that?
I'm not too
Or are
sure.
they still separate?
I think I'm not 100%.
I know
on
there's
that.
you got the alliance and the rules are all the same. So
Yeah, I've never really raced points. My cousin's normally the one who takes the points. I just race here and there when I can. Summer's my off season from school, so I miss races at the end when I go back to school. So I really can't race for points if I wanted.
AJ McCall says you lapped everybody but 2 or 3 cars.
Is that your dad, AJ?
That is my cousin.
Cousin, okay.
There we go.
Because I saw he posted something that said that he's going to challenge you next year.
Yeah, he said that.
What's that about?
Just family fun, a little challenge. He might be able to beat me on a dry track on a good day. I'll give him that. But
On a good day.
on a good day. On a wet track, though, he might have his work cut out for him. So
Okay. Does he have his own car? Or?
he does. Yes, he has a
Okay.
Cavalier.
So why wasn't he there yesterday?
He currently has a broken ankle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, don't tell me. I had a broken ankle and I raced.
AJ says there'll be an 8-race series between Lorraine and Sandusky with a joint points fund, all under the same rules. That's pretty cool.
There you go. Yep.
But he said he can't run for the points because where do you go to school?
Yeah, but for 8 races, I'll bet he can.
Yeah.
Okay.
I go to John Carroll University. I'm currently a junior there.
What are you studying?
I'm studying sport management or sport leadership, is what it's called there. And then I took a minor in political science. So.
Oh, poli-sci. That's always good.
That's something to fall back on if this racing career doesn't work out for you?
Yes, racing is more of a hobby, so hopefully school takes me farther. But
I got you. Well, in school, will maybe you get you a career that'll pay for this hobby
yes,
moving forward. Because I'm assuming you're pretty addicted to it, right?
yeah, it's in the blood. I was born into it, so it's
Awesome.
Once you start it, it's hard to stop.
So you're making 6-7 figures a few years down the road. What would you be racing?
That's a good question.
Front-wheel drive.
Yeah, I don't know. A front wheel drive is fun. A lot of people tend to hate on us a little bit, but they're fun to race. I think I would have to try out street stock one time, just get a different feel for it. But front wheel drives are fun. So
no late models, no super modifieds, no sprint cars.
probably not any supers, probably no sprints. My uncle had a late model, I believe, when he used to race that I really liked. So maybe a late model.
Okay. Have you ever raced on dirt?
I have not raced on dirt.
Well, the dirt guys seem to do good on the wet pavement. You did good on the wet pavement. Put that together, you might do good on dirt. I'm just saying.
Might have to try it.
All right. Any sponsors or folks you want to thank for helping you out?
Yeah, I would like to thank all my family, of course, dad, mom, sister, my grandpa, my uncles, my cousin, AJ, just my whole family who came out and who supported me through all my racing years. And then in terms of sponsors, I'd like to thank Car Parts Warehouse, Joe's Deli, Dairy Queen at Elyria and Avon Lake, Annie's Auto, and WOBL Radio.
Did you have this written down in front of you at all?
No.
Or is that all from memory?
It's all memory.
All right.
Very good.
Very well prepared. I applaud that. Congratulations on picking up the win yesterday in the whiskey stocks, and good luck this summer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks
see
a
ya.
lot.
There you go. Jaden McCall, your whiskey stock feature winner for the Hangover Race, which leaves us with just one last winner.
Really?
Yeah. My screen froze, and that's a very scary face.
You're not talking, Scott.
I guess I'm not. But should we talk about your race or do some racing news?
Do some racing news.
Okay.
Maybe your camera will unfreeze.
Hey, there it goes. Now
There you go.
Let's do a little bit of racing news, and then don't forget we're going to be giving away some East of Chicago pizza coming up in a little bit, and hashtag DCR if you haven't put that in the comments of the Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or Twitch. We'll do that drawing at the end of the show. Thanks to producer Dave. Stick around for that. First, let's do a little bit.
Latest racing news.
So the 35th class of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame was named on Friday, December 20th, I should say. In the driver category was Craig Delansky, 66-time World of Outlaw winner, 10-time USAC CRA champion Damian Gardner, and 13-time track champion Todd Schaefer. Car owner Davey Brown Jr. and engine builder Don Ott will be inducted into the Owners, Mechanics, Builder, Manufacturers, Car Builders category. That's a
mouthful.
That is a weird name. World of Outlaw official Carlton Reimers and IRA Sprint Car Series president Steve Sinclair will be inducted into the promoters, officials, media, members, event/series sponsors category.
Okay.
Who comes up with these categories? Come on. Kenny Gritz won the 1969 Knoxville Nationals, and he'll be inducted in the pre-1970 category.
Oh, okay.
Are you eligible for the pre-1970 category for anything?
Not in a sprint car. But,
Well, I'm just saying in general. We'll come back to that.
Yeah. I started racing in 64, Scott, so yeah.
On Thursday, December 19th, the Indy Next, or NXT by Firestone Series announced a historic broadcast schedule for the first time in the series history. All races will be televised live on FS1 and FS2. Indy NXT by Firestone is the development series for IndyCar, offering a final step up the ladder to a career in the NTT IndyCar Series, kind of like the Xfinity Series of NASCAR.
That's just exactly what producer Dave needs is
more racing
one
to
more
watch.
series to watch.
There you go. That's not even streaming. That's regular cable.
Yeah.
Rico Abreu was scheduled to race at the Western Australia Speed Week, but he injured his wrist and will undergo surgery.
Ooh.
The 32-year-old has canceled his trip to Australia because of the injury in 2025, which is this year now.
Right.
It wasn't 2025 when I put the prep together. Abreu will race full-time with High Limit Racing. The High Limit Racing schedule opens at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I think it's in March.
Ooh.
I don't know why I didn't put that in there, but yeah. He was not attacked by a kangaroo.
Yeah, that was fake news.
Well, that was somebody else. That wasn't Rico. But David Gravel was voted Driver of the Year by the North American 410 Sprint Car Poll voting panel of media members, promoters, sanctioning officials, and manufacturers for the first time in his career. Landon Crawley is the Rookie of the Year in the 410 class after his successful first campaign with the World of Outlaws. Seth Bergman was voted the 2024 360 Sprint Car Driver of the Year. Levi Hillier will receive the 360 Rookie of the Year honors. Logan Seavey has been named the Non-Wing Driver of the Year, and Blake Bauer will receive the 2024 Non-Wing Sprint Car Rookie of the Year award.
Okay.
There you go. Tuesday night, 275 drivers took to the track for the opening night of the Tulsa Shootout. The micro event, which takes place on the same Bullring dirt track, is a nearly week-long show that precedes the famed Chili Bowl. Basically, it's the same racetrack as the Chili Bowl. That's what that's training. Four of the 275 drivers who drove winged outlaw cars were randomly selected to be teched. Anton Hernandez was disqualified.
Ooh.
After his car owner, Buddy Lee, refused to let officials tech the engine. Hernandez will continue to race in the non-wing division while racing his own equipment in that class. He finished third in both the outlaw non-wing and stock non-wing race heats. And nobody, there was no reason given for
only that
the owner
said
not
it wasn't going to
letting-
happen.
Yeah. I mean, it could be that he's concerned that maybe something would happen to the motor, or I guess the other possibility is I'll let you fill in the blank.
Something already happened with the motor.
There you go. Rich and Shelley Farmer of Fremont Speedway and Randy Maggio of Painesville Speedway and Lorain County Speedway, Lorain Raceway Park, have been nominated for the 49th Annual Auto Racing Promoter of the Year.
Ooh. And Arpy.
Yes. What you said. And finally, the Great Lakes Super Sprints has released its 2025 schedule. There are 39 races on the schedule with 6 to be announced. 16 races are in our area. They will be at Limaland Motorsports Park May 2nd, 23rd, June 6th, and July 4th. Millstream Speedway on May 24th, July 5th, and August 1st. Waynesfield Raceway Park on May 25th and July 3rd, Eldora Speedway on August 2nd and September 19th, and Butler Motor Speedway on June 14th and August 16th. And Barry actually called me.
Really?
I think it was Tuesday.
Yeah. Hey,
New Year's
let's
Eve.
talk.
Yeah. That was it.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to feel important that Barry called me. So, coming up. Actually, let's do the Hammer Down Hotline
Okay.
because we got a couple things that's going to center on you. And right now,
Oh boy.
yeah, the first is the Hammer Down Hotline, which we got a text. If you do want to, why aren't my buttons working? That button works. There we go. So, if you want to call, text, leave a voicemail anytime, day or night, anything racing related, there's the number 419-318-3081. That's 419-318-3081. Apparently somebody saw a post that you had posted over our holiday break.
Yes, sir.
And this is the text message we got. Is Ron better at rebuilding race cars or barns? You want to explain what's behind that?
Okay. I often reference the Miller family farm. We have a little hobby farm. We have there's some horses there that a lady takes care of, and then I have pigs and chickens and one lonely duck out in our little barn. There is a yard hydrant and a freeze-proof faucet, and I have heat tape around it, and it's plugged into an extension cord. Apparently, that extension cord shorted out and caught a couple of feed bags on fire, caught some stall walls on fire, Scott, and fortunately, the lady was out feeding the horses and called me up and said, "Hey, Merry Christmas, your barn's on fire."
And your response was,
Holy shit. I made it out, and it definitely was on fire. The stall walls were blazing. It had just about reached the ceiling. My little stock barn is about 12 feet away from the race shop. So, and that barn is not visible from our house. Shop is significantly taller, so I wouldn't have seen anything had I not gotten that phone call. And it could very easily have wound up involving the race shop. So it truly was a Christmas miracle. It could have been so much worse. A couple $100 worth of lumber.
was that late model in your shop at the time?
Yes, it was.
Okay, that could have threw a monkey wrench into the plans for New Year's Day,
Oh, absolutely.
among other things.
Fortunately, I had a hose hooked to the yard hydrant, turned that on, and it took me about 45 minutes to knock all the flames down.
Did you call the fire department at all?
No, I figured I had it handled. I didn't.
It's a good thing it wasn't sub-zero temperatures.
Oh, boy.
Then you would have had to call them.
Well, it was warm enough that the yard hydrant wasn't going to freeze.
So was it bad? Any animals lost?
I've got a couple of big sow pigs, big girl
Was there
pigs.
bacon back there?
They were both fine. The older of the two was kind of lethargic for a while, but by the time I fed her in the afternoon, she felt just fine.
Okay. So a happy ending to that. Do you have a lot of repairs to do then to the barn? Or?
Bill Daniels, Brian Barber jumped in and helped me replace the stall walls. I've got one door that I've still got, a stall door that I've still got to repair. But those two made it a whole lot easier.
Did you get rid of that extension cord, I hope?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It was nothing but a couple of bare wires.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah. And it never tripped a circuit breaker. That one concerned me.
Well, that is a little concerning. Might have to, you have electrical worker friends? Might have to have someone
I
look at
really
that.
think probably all I need to do is put
Replace a breaker.
put a ground fault outlet on what services those.
That might help.
Yeah.
I think that might be code anyway, since that's outdoor, isn't it?
Well, it's under roof.
Oh. So anyways, let's talk about some happier thing. Well,
Yeah.
first, so your experience on yesterday, the Hangover Race, you get to the track, you unload the car, the green 35 Outlaw, super late model, huge sideboard.
The car started great, worked flawlessly in the shop. We unloaded it, started it up, warming the engine up, and all of a sudden it shut off. I said, that's
did
weird.
it? I didn't even know it had started up
Oh,
originally
yeah. No,
after you backed it out.
It ran,
Okay.
I don't know, probably close to 15 minutes, trying to get plenty of heat in the motor. It was a little chilly besides being wet.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time trying to diagnose it, finally narrowed it down to an MSD ignition box. We changed that. It fired up just in time to go out and run a little bit of hot laps.
Oh, so you did get hot laps. I didn't even think you got it in time for that.
Yeah, just a couple.
I know you had quite a few people climbing in and all around that
over
thing.
it, yeah. And when we knew we had spark was when Bill Daniels was hooking a couple of things back up, and we had the coil wire out, and he must have connected a wire and found out what 40,000 volts of MSD ignition feels like.
Are you going to put him back in the hospital?
No, he's
Come
fine.
on, man. So so you got a couple hot laps. Did you have the issue you had in the feature in the hot laps? Everything was fine?
It felt fine. Went out, ran the heat race.
Won the heat race.
Won that.
And you were toying with me in that.
Yeah.
I finished second to you in.
Yeah, that was fine. And went out pulled off the pit road onto the track for the feature, and the power steering failed. Ran the entire race with no power steering. Now,
Isn't that how they did it in the old days?
But in the old days, we didn't have the aggressive front suspension setups that we do now. A lot of camber in the right front, leaned in, a lot of positive camber in the left front, and a bunch of caster split in it. I had both hands on the right side of the steering wheel on the parade laps, just trying to hold it straight. And I was thinking to myself, good Lord, I don't think I can do this.
I did see smoke coming out of the back just before we started that feature, because I was right behind you for that start.
Yeah,
and I was
that would have been power steering fluid burning off the headers.
That makes sense then. So, so you started off there, and Haley Dittman, she got the jump on you from the outside on the start. Was that because of what happened there at the start?
Well, and the bottom was a little bit slippery.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
And like her dad said, the top was where to be, and she got a jump, and I was kind of patient. Got up under her one time, and she kind of took my line away. We touched, and
Were you a little worried though without having the power steering? Does that make it? I'm assuming that makes it a lot more difficult.
When the parade laps were over, I was still wondering, man, can I do this? I really questioned as hard as it steered, but once we got going, I guess adrenaline kicked in.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if it was the sideboard or what, but the car kept getting a little wiggly down the back stretch, and without power steering, it was a little tough to catch it. I never bounced off the wall, but I wouldn't have wanted to have my hand in there.
Oh man! So you eventually got by Haley.
Yep.
Was that
I was watching her front wheels, and she picked up a little bit of a push and then a little bit more of a push, so I knew where my opening would be. And our car was especially good in the bottom of 1 and 2. I say our car because Bill Daniels owns the car. I own the engine and transmission. It was definitely a group effort.
And so you basically picked your moment then.
I did. She scooted up a little bit in 1 and 2. I ducked under her and
drove away.
Yeah.
Once you got the lead, were you thinking, this is it, I'm good now?
Well, obviously we don't have mirrors or anything, so I had no idea where she was, and she was pretty darn fast. So, and like I said earlier in the show, that was one of the races where I knew 8-inch tires were not going to be an issue. They would be a benefit. So
your wider tires were a little bit of a hindrance, as
Absolutely.
well as the lack of power steering.
yeah, buddy.
Well, at least your ignition stayed running.
Yeah, it did.
had
That was a win. Scott, on the way home, I started hurting. I had knots in my back. My hands were cramping up, holding onto the steering wheel in the truck.
These muscles here.
Shoulders, shoulder muscles, but muscle cramps in my back. Even my hips were hurting, man, and they weren't even doing any work, I don't think.
We could take your winnings and go get a full body massage.
Yeah, okay. By the time Bill and I square up,
There might be enough.
yeah.
And I do want to thank you because I think you were coming up behind me there at the finish. Did you back off at all to keep from lapping me?
You know, you had told me that you had never been lapped before, so I figured.
Well, until Dan did, yeah.
Yeah. So I.
Thank you, I appreciate it. So it wouldn't be twice in one day.
Didn't want to risk that.
How close behind me were you?
I was there.
All right, so you could have pretty much lapped everybody but second place then.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And congratulations on the trophy.
Yeah.
And what about sponsors for you?
You know, there were no major sponsors, but boy, Bill Daniels and his gang did just a huge amount of work. Zach, my crew chief, was there, and he worked so hard during the week and then Wednesday, to make sure everything got done. Yep.
So does that make you now the all-time winner for hangover races?
I have heard that Wild Bill Hart won 17 of them, but nobody ever really kept records. It's just word of mouth that he won 17. I'm at 15, and I'll catch him.
All right. Chris Mize would have been proud.
Yeah.
I saw you had a big Chris Mize
I
sticker
did.
in your car, too. That was cool.
Chris Mize smiling.
Hey, well, I won the first race of the year.
You did, and congratulations on that. Easy. That's high-powered water.
I shouldn't breathe in. All right. How about we give some stuff away?
Yeah. Easy, bud.
All good. I have a bad habit of inhaling while drinking sometimes.
Don't do that.
Yeah. So, let's see. Hashtag DCR. Let's do that. We're not going to do the drawing yet, but just one more attempt to let people know. Yep. Hashtag DCR. Get in the drawing to win that sticker. We're going to be doing that drawing here very, very shortly. Before we do that, we have a little bit of how many to take care of. So let's check that out.
How many?
So last week's how many, and that was good for a DCR Graphics sponsored. They provide us with these lovely window stickers, the Hammer Down Racing Report window stickers. Again, you can slap these on your car. I have to update the HammerdownRacingReport.com website, but we will start taking recruits for the Hammer Down Army.
And you can put them on your pickup truck.
You put it pickup, whatever, but if you have a race car, well, if you got a pickup truck, I don't care. You can join the Hammer Down Army there.
Yeah.
We'll have a form on HammerdownRacingReport.com. There's a section called Hammer Down Army. We'll report on your race results every week.
And they can do that.
And you have to
And
provide us a
now because we started all over.
Correct. Yes. If you were part of the Hammer Down Army
Wednesday.
before or last year, you have to re-enlist for each year.
Got to re-up.
Re-up. There you go. So, and we'll report where you finish as long as you provide us with that information. And all you have to do to join that is to shoot us over a picture of the sticker on your car, your 2025 ride. Very easy. So this week's winner for actually our question a couple weeks ago was how many race cars would be at Sandusky Speedway on January 1st, which was yesterday.
Right.
You said 47.
I did.
I thought that was a little high.
Well, and I was watching the extended weather forecast, and
The weather looked a little more.
it looked a whole lot better than what we really had.
Yeah, I think you were thinking 40s and not as much precipitation. What'd we get? Like 33 in snow, 32 in snow?
Or drizzle, depending on what mood she was in.
It wasn't as bad as that 2021, as Dan said, when it was the monsoon.
No, that was horrible.
Yeah. So our winner was, between you and me, was me. And our listener winner, which I don't know why did not get on here, but that was Nancy Schoenauer, who said 30, because the actual number was 29.
Oh, and she was very close.
Yes, she picked 30. She was the winner of that Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker, which she can pick up from Ron Miller Race Cars.
Yeah.
Within 30 days. If you don't pick it up within 30 days, it goes back into the giveaway pile. So, and now, not to be confusing, but this week's
How many
is going to be good for a one large, one item pizza from east of Chicago there in Clyde. Again, thanks to Dean Henry for hooking us up with that. He's going to be our gatekeeper and keeping track of all the winners and everything. It's going to be 30 days to claim. Good. So we'll determine that winner next week. What you need to put in the comments for that how many is what is going to be the winning number
of
there it is, the Winged Outlaw feature winner on Saturday at the Tulsa Shootout. I haven't watched any of it, so I don't have any idea on the numbers. So it's going to be a crapshoot for me. I don't know about you.
Not a clue.
Okay.
But
it's the Winged Outlaw class.
The number on the
car, the winning car. Your feature winner.
The race car number of
the
feature winner.
There you go. So it's technically not a how many this time. It's a number, though. Put your guess in the comments of our Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. We'll give you until Saturday at 4.
Okay.
Give you until Saturday, 4 p.m. to get your guess in. So, yeah.
And you got to go first, Scott.
I know. I suppose
you're stalling again.
I know. I should probably pull up the chats here. Oh, we got numbers all over. I like this one. The 8. I like that. I don't know if I want to go with that, though. I'm going to go with 8. Why not? Sure. I don't even know if there is a number 8. Everybody's guessing their own numbers, I think. 20 RT.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going 9, Scott.
You're going 9, so you're kind of putting me in a box there.
I'm thinking the real number is going to be 1, but I'm going with 9 just
because the percentages. You're playing the percentages.
That's it exactly.
All right, it's fair enough. Again, you have until 4 o'clock, so if you're listening to us on Spotify or any other podcasting platform, you're not watching the live, you can go find our Facebook Live. Go to facebook.com/HammerDown Racing Report and just go to the comments, put your number in there, your number guess. As long as it's before 4 o'clock on Saturday, and you can only guess once. You cannot change your guess once you put it in. Any of those
will result in a black flag.
Yes. And we reserve the right to change the rules at any point in time for any reason. But again, this will be good for a large one-item pizza there, courtesy of East of Chicago Pizza in Clyde, Ohio. And again, thanks to Dean Henry on that.
And Clyde, Ohio truly is east of Chicago. Wow.
Mind blown. Let's check out our East of Chicago race menu for this upcoming weekend, which is going to be this one right.
This weekend's racing menu.
So as we just mentioned, the Sage Expo Center, that's the site for the Tulsa Shootout. That's continuing tonight through Saturday, January 4th. The Winged Outlaws, non-Winged Outlaws, Restricted A-Class, Winged A-Class, Stock non-Winged Micros, and Junior Sprints, all running tonight through Saturday. So lots of little wee cars running.
Yeah.
Vado Speedway Park, the Wild West Shootout. That's coming back on January 8th through the, it's split. They got late models and X mods Saturday and Sunday, and then it picks up again on Wednesday, January 8th through the 12th.
Oh.
So Couple races this weekend, and then
So they've got late models in Tulsa?
no, this is Vado
Or
Speedway
Vado.
Park.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's a Wild West shootout.
Yep.
Albany Speedway, a couple of races going on. Actually, a few of them down in Australia. The Pro Dirt Late Models, Production 500s, Juniors, and Street Stocks. That's happening Saturday at Albany Speedway, Bunbury Speedway. Also Saturday, it's the Western Australia Sprint Car Speed Week, continuing with Sprint Cars Wingless Sprints and Formula 500s. And then Premier Speedway on Sunday with Speed Cars, Wingless Sprints, and Super Sedans. That's it. That's your East of Chicago racing menu for this weekend.
Works for me.
So let's one last call here for hashtag DCR. If you haven't put that in, you have about 3 seconds to do so. Put that in the comments of the Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or Twitch, actually, and then it'll make Dave have to scramble and add you. I just turned off the comments there. Okay. And that's about it. We got a big show next week. I kind of want to talk about that. We'll give Dave a little bit of time here before we do that drawing. Bryan Motor Speedway.
Defunct.
It is defunct now. I think when it closed, early 90s?
Yes.
So, but when I was growing up, I used to live out in Bryan. I think I moved out there in 81.
When you were growing up, I used to race it. Brian.
Yes. I used to watch you race. I used to watch you, Hillard Miller, racing out there. So we got a group of people. We're going to kind of gather some folks associated with Bryan Motor Speedway and have a Bryan Motor Speedway memory show, kind of talk about their favorite memories from there. So far, we have Dwayne Hancock, who is from Bryan. He lives out there. He used to go there as well as a kid. He's got some contacts he's going to bring with him as well. Hillard Miller is going to come on. Joe Nicoloy, Ry Schroyer, Todd Sherman have all raced out there. Ron Miller's raced there.
Yeah.
So you got some stories to share?
Yeah.
And if you haven't heard the big story from Joe Nicoloy, definitely check out that episode of our show.
Right.
Was that like 4 years ago? Just do a search for Joe Nicoloy and Hammer Down Racing Report. It was a pretty good one. So there, Dave Gumby. All right, he's the last one. So any 1798 car count for Tulsa? That's ridiculous.
Well, you had what? 7 classes, I think. 8 classes.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to spin the wheel whenever Dave is ready for this week's winner of a Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. That is so tiny.
Ooh, it clicked one last time.
Scott Bowen. Congratulations, Scott Bowen. You are the winner of this Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker. You have 30 days to claim your sticker from Ron Miller Race Cars.
Yep. Dave Bowen, you are a winner.
That was Scott Bowen.
Or Scott, yeah.
Okay, I'm writing down Scott Bowen. You're saying Dave. You're confusing me. Dave Kemmer. Thank you, producer Dave, for that. Here, I'll get that to you.
Got it.
All right. Yeah, that's about going to do it for this edition, the first edition of the Hammer Down Racing Report of 2025, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. Thanks to producer Dave Kemmer, contributors John Young, Dean Henry, Matt Swander, Bob Stazak. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on X at Hammer Report, follow us on YouTube. Of course, you can also listen to us on demand anytime on your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Check out HammerDownRacingReport.com. I'll update the site tonight for the Hammer Down Army, so if you want to join the Hammer Down Army, we'll get some updated details on there. You can also check out members of the first 2 years of the Hammer Down Army. Yep. We just started that, 2023? Right. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Thanks to our
sponsors.
Hammer
Down Racing Report for the next couple of weeks. Stay inside. It's going to be cold.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's your weekend weather pit stop forecast?
Yeah.
For the next few weeks. Cold. Stay inside, watch on TV. Thanks to Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, Magic Moment Entertainment, Victory Fuel. Also, thanks to our guests this week, Dan Dittman, Jaden McCall, Ron Miller.
Yay. I was going to be here anyway, so not a big deal.
And again, next week we're going to do that special episode on Bryan Motor Speedway, the historic Bryan Motor Speedway. It was still a half mile in the 80s, wasn't it? It's a bigger track.
They shortened it a little bit. I think maybe the last year when Ivan Graves was killing the track.
Okay. I'll do some research to get some history on the track.
Okay.
So,
There was also a 1 mile track. No,
I read something about that.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see that on the
Right.
old Google Earth
Yep,
images.
Absolutely.
Like all the way out to the train tracks.
Yep, it was there. Never raced
And
it.
you never
but-
raced?
No, but you could definitely see it back in the day.
I remember watching the SOD series, Sprints on Dirt, back in the 80s.
Sure.
That version of it. Late models, a lot of modifieds, street stocks. What else did they run there?
They ran some of the Michigan modified stuff too.
There's like two different kinds of modified. The short, the short squatty modifieds and the tall, boxy looking modifieds. And they ran them together. And they worked. Put on a good show. Little Joe Bennett, Stan Perry. I remember watching those guys. Oh, that's all next week on the show. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 o'clock. That is a wrap on show number 360 of the Hammer Down Racing Report.